What's going on, guys? 7up07 here, and welcome to another new episode of Recent Gaming Purchases. Got all kinds of fun stuff in this one. These are just some, as per usual, some trades and sales and whatever that I've picked some stuff up from. I think the majority of this is either trades or stuff I bought from people on Facebook groups. There are a couple of eBay purchases as well in this, but got some pretty good stuff. So I'm going to start out with this one lot that I bought from a guy on one of the Facebook groups. Gave me a nice price on all these games together. Got quite a bit from him, and he gave me a good price. A lot of them were normal price, but some of them were a lot cheaper, so I ended up just getting all of it. Some stuff I really wanted that was all stuff that was on my wish list, so we'll get into these. First, I got Centurion Defender of Rome for the Sega Genesis. This is one that was suggested for me from someone I know that they used to play this when they were a kid and absolutely loved it. It's kind of just like a strategy game. I tried to play it a little bit. It's actually quite hard to get started. You don't have a lot you can do at the very beginning of the game, so it proves very difficult to get started. I did eventually get to where I could do stuff, and so basically you're just roam and you lead the armies and you conquer other regions, and there's different things outside of the battles like chariot racing and stuff like that. Pretty cool game. I think it's pretty cool, but it does take a little bit of time to get into where you can actually be successful at it. Next is Phantasy Star 2 for the Genesis. Been looking out for this one for a long time. He gave me a real nice price on it, and this is in fantastic condition, also complete, so super happy to have that one. That is currently the only Phantasy Star that I have on the Genesis, surprisingly enough. Don't have a lot of Genesis games, so I guess that's probably the main reason why. And usually, I just never see Phantasy Star in a situation where it's affordable, so it was kind of nice to get that and bundled in with this for a pretty good price for the condition that it's in. Also got a couple of PS2 games from him. First, Obscure: The Aftermath. Now, I really want the original Obscure for PS2, but it does have a fairly large price tag on it, unfortunately. So I don't know when I'll come across that. May end up having to pay full price or almost full price, or more than likely get it in a trade or something. But who knows? Maybe I'll come across it in the wild one day. Also, Soul Reaver 2, the sequel to Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Also pretty cool. I've only played the first one, never played this one, so. Got a GameCube game as well, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falsebound Kingdom, a nice GameCube exclusive title. I do enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. There's quite a few of them, and I only have a couple of them though, so. Ghost Squad for the Wii. This one is one that I've heard is quite fun, but I have never played it myself, so I want to give it a shot. And I also still have that little gun attachment thing. I guess you don't really need it. It's kind of silly when you really think about it, but I mean, it's cool. Also got a nice stack of original Xbox games. I'm pretty happy about all these. Really been getting a lot of original Xbox games, trying to get that exclusive collection, as I've mentioned in previous videos. So I got quite a few that I had been looking for that are on my list from this guy for a fair price. First is Thief Deadly Shadows, complete of course. House of the Dead 3, and these are all some, halfway decent titles. Not a lot of, $3 or $4 Xbox titles. These are okay. Kingdom Under Fire: The Crusaders. Ninja Gaiden Black. Right there. I already had the original Ninja Gaiden, but I am counting this as a different version. This is just the original Ninja Gaiden, but it comes with more missions and what else is about this game? Oh, you can unlock the old NES Ninja Gaiden games through playing levels on this. So, like, the further you get into this game, you get more of the others. I don't remember if it's only the first Ninja Gaiden, or if there's more. I don't remember what all is included on this, but it does let you unlock some of the older games. Chicago Enforcer. This looks like just a interesting game. I don't know. I mean, it's probably just like a basic FPS game, but just interesting concept for a game, I guess. I don't know. Azaric: Rise of Parathia. Don't know much about this game, but it looks like it might be up my alley. I don't know how many like RPG kind of elements there are to it, but it's definitely one of those fantasy type games that I would definitely be into. And finally, Otogi: Myth of Demons. Of course, all of these are nice and complete, and like I said, all pretty solid titles. Some of them are only a few dollars, but some of these were anywhere from $10 to $15 titles, so nice little stack of original Xbox games to add to that collection. Pretty excited about that. And then also included in that, he had a steal of a price on this, and I'm on the fence of whether or not I want to sell it or keep it. A Neo Geo Pocket Stone Blue version. All complete in the box, everything. It looks basically untouched. The only blemish is this little rip on the side label here, but the rest of it is absolutely beautiful condition. Didn't come with any games. He had already sold all the games for it, unfortunately, but he threw it in with the other games I wanted for such a cheap price. I couldn't say no. It was like $20, so yeah, definitely well worth it, but I just can't, you know, I already have the regular blue version, and I can't decide if I want to keep this as another version, or if I want to go ahead and sell it and make a little bit of money off of it to make up for the other games that I bought. But to be honest, at this point, it's been several weeks since I bought this stuff, and I'm leaning more towards just keeping it at this point, because I'm not missing the money right now, so. Okay, next little lot is actually something I got off of eBay, which I don't do as much as I used to these days, but this one was a pretty good one, and I had been trying to bid on several of these lots, and eventually I snagged one for a price that was reasonable enough. I had been going on there trying to find Sega CD and Sega Saturn lots that had good games in them, that, you know, I was willing to pay a little bit for them, but not go too far over there, like, you know, getting it for a reasonable price, so I didn't obviously want to pay full retail for them. Some of them are crazy if you go on those auctions. People, you know, I'll total up what the lot is worth, actually, like, individually split up, and I'll set a price underneath that I'm willing to go to. Some people on some of these lots will pay above the value, and I don't even understand how the lot sells for that much. So, you know, say that I bid on like 10 or 12 different lots, I might win one of them for the price that I am willing to go on them. And I'm being pretty generous about how much I'll pay for a lot of games, because when you get stuff in a lot, it should already be cheaper than when it's split up. But regardless of that, that's pretty much what happened. I bid on like 10 or 12 lots, thinking I'm not going to win all of them, obviously, and I ended up winning one of them. So let's go through what I got here. It's a nice Sega CD lot. First game is Rise of the Dragon. Complete there. This was one that was on my list. It's basically a Blade Runner ripoff, and I'm really excited to play it. It's one of the more solid Sega CD games from what I hear. Ground Zero Texas. This is another pretty, I don't know if I should say famous or infamous Sega CD game. 2-disc game. Complete, both discs and everything in there. This is another one of those full motion video games that the Sega CD is definitely infamous for, but some people love them, and this is among the more loved of those games, so I will give it a shot. But some of those games are just awful. I don't know what to do about them. Okay, so here's a kind of weird one. I didn't realize when I bought it, because they only had pictures of the front, I didn't realize what this was. It's Microcosm, but that's only the front manual that says Microcosm, so I don't know what happened that is the only thing in it, but it is actually the Ultraverse Prime Microcosm double deal. I don't know if you can see that, but it does have both of the discs in there, so that's like kind of a bonus I wasn't really even expecting. And those together with the artwork are worth a lot more than just this game on its own, so I'm not sure. I guess I got a pretty good deal on that. I'm confused why it doesn't have the artwork for both of them. It only has Microcosm on it. Kind of strange, but Next is Prize Fighter, which I think is... It's a 2-disc game. It didn't come in a 2-disc thing, though, so it's kind of just floating around in there. I don't know what to do about that either, but yeah, there you go, Prize Fighter. Road Rash. This one is a oh, yeah, well, that happens a lot. This is a surprisingly expensive Sega CD game. I mean, a lot of Sega CD games are quite expensive, but this is not one that I expected to be as much as it's worth. Like a $40 to $50 game, surprisingly enough. So, already had this on the Genesis, I believe. Yeah, I think it's loose. I don't see it there, but I think I have this loose on Genesis. And something else, I don't remember. Anyway, but kind of a cool game if you've never played it before. I've never played the Sega CD version. Also included a couple games I already had, Jurassic Park and Bram Stoker's Dracula, so I'm just going to kind of keep the better of these two, which I think are the ones I already had. I kind of looked through them briefly already, and probably end up getting rid of these two if anyone is interested in these. And then lastly, unfortunately, these games had kind of a bit of an issue with Iron Helix, which is complete, but also Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, the second Cataclysm, which is one I was actually quite excited about getting, but unfortunately these are both scratched up, like you can almost see through the disc, it's so scratched up. And they did not notate that they were that bad, so I tried to play them and they do not work. They mentioned that they were scratched, but it did list it as untested, but it said like minor scratches, cosmetic damage only, or something like that. So they should have been a little more loose about the way that they said that. They were too specific for saying that it's an untested lot. They could have just said it's damaged, we didn't test it, I don't know if it works. And they probably could have gotten away with it, but they were so specific about that it wasn't that bad. But I would show the disc, but I know you're not going to be able to see it. But these were just, I looked at it and immediately knew it wasn't going to work. So kind of sad about that, but I ended up getting almost half of what I paid for the lot back. So I ended up paying like maybe $50 for this whole lot. That's what they offered me to make up for these two that didn't work. I told them the rest of them worked because I tested them and they all worked. But these did not, and so with what they compensated me with, like $50 extra, I can easily go buy a couple of discs to replace these. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, lastly, just a bunch of random little stuff, really. I got a couple lots of manuals and, like, replaced some extra cases and stuff I didn't have, so I'm just going to run through those real quick. First, I bought this entire lot of manuals, all sorts of stuff in here. I'm just going to run through it real quick. Legend of Zelda, NES. Zelda 2, ooh, The Adventure of Link. There's a couple posters and stuff, I won't go through those. There's an NES, some paperwork for the NES. Interesting. A Wavebird GameCube controller manual. There was just all kinds of weird stuff in here. Another couple of posters I'm not going to open. Hoops. Wheel of Fortune. Marble Madness. Prisoners of War. Casino Kid. Bandai Golf. F-117A Stealth Fighter. This was in there. It's from a Lipton Cup of Soup thing, an NFL dictionary. I don't know why that's in there. I'm going to put that to the side. One of those Sonic 2 posters that are quite popular. Super RC Pro-Am. Another poster, looks like the Donkey Kong Super Metroid poster, which is also pretty common. Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble Game Gear Manual. Super Return of the Jedi Game Gear Manual. And Iron Man, Manowar, and Heavy Metal. Also a Game Gear Instruction Manual. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Super Mario Bros. 3. Woo! I'm getting a little too crazy with these. Dr. Mario. Taboo, The Sixth Sense, and another Sega manual of some kind. So all of these were like $15 or something like that. So it's a lot of stuff I didn't really need, but I wanted the Zelda manuals, I wanted some of the Mario stuff and the posters and whatever, so ended up being well worth it. I mean, just to get rid of these to people that really need them, end up making that back easily, so happy enough with that. Just a little side purchase, you know. Also went on, let's start with these. Went on Mercari, that app that I talk about from time to time. Been using it a lot less lately. It seems that I just haven't gotten any... I'm one of the lucky ones that have been getting decent deals on it, and people that were actually like somewhat competent. But lately it seems to have been... It's finally caught up to me how bad some people can be on there. So this was one I got from a couple weeks ago that ended up being okay. Got a Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii guide, as well as Zelda the Minish Cap. So these are a couple nice additions to the Zelda collection, which is always growing. And so those will be nice. Got a real nice price on those. They sell for a decent amount on eBay, and I got both of them for about the price that one sells usually. I think about 15 bucks. So pretty nice price on those. Also got a case and manual for Animal Crossing Wild World, so I got my game thrown in there now, but this was a loose game that I had that now is complete. Same with these couple I'm about to show. First, for the Dreamcast Carrier, I had this loose, got a case and manual for a decent price, so happy with that. Always looking to get complete versions of all of these loose Dreamcast games that I have, because I had way too many. I had more loose Dreamcast games from like just being thrown into various lots or whatever I'd come across, and none of them ever have cases or manuals, so I had more loose ones than I did complete. So I'm trying to work on fixing that lately. Also, House of the Dead 2 got a case and manual for that. That's a loose Dreamcast disc that I have had for years, since I first got the Dreamcast that I owned. So I've probably had that loose disc for at least like 6 years. It might even be in one of my old videos, like the old ones when I originally got this loose disc. So finally got a case and manual for that. Also finally got a manual and game for this one, Spider-Man for the PS1. Had just the back cover art for a while now, from a while back, and finally just got the game and manual to make that complete from separate transactions, but it happens. And then also a couple of manuals I bought for just a few bucks each on eBay to complete some GameCube games. It's Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life is the first one. And then also got a manual for Super Smash Bros. Melee. That had been sitting incomplete for a while. I have 3 cases for Super Smash Bros. 3. Not with game, just the art and the case. But I have 3 of these now. But this one is finally a complete one, which I'm quite happy about. So that is everything for right now. I got a couple other things that are going to be thrown up into another video in the next episode, but yeah, that is all of the gaming purchases from the last couple of weeks. I don't remember exactly how much time, but yeah, pretty nice little pile of stuff there, and there's even more cool stuff to come. So thank you guys for watching. Please like this video, comment what you think is cool, or if you want any of the games I mentioned I'm getting rid of, and let me know what you think. And if you have not subscribed already, please do so. And thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.